Warning: this program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions. This is Unshackled Fury.
The new year has begun, and the siren's call has been answered as we plunder our way towards the next major chapter in World of Warcraft. So welcome back for episode 158 of your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions, Unshackled Fury. I'm your host, Berzerker, and I'm riding solo to kick off 2025 as Mr. Jez Corden is out on assignment. So on this episode, we're catching up after a long holiday break, taking a peek at what awaits us in Undermine, hitting up the trading post, and answering your questions live. But first, as I mentioned, riding solo, had a little last minute change of plans for this episode. So apologies up front if this one might be a bit shorter as I'm recording. I don't know, but you can look at it now that it's out and see whether or not I told the truth. But this one might be a little bit shorter, and every year or so, it seems I say that, due to various reasons, I'm gonna try to cut these things shorter and shorter, and then they end up not being shorter. Maybe this is the year we hold to hour-long episodes. I don't know. According to the metrics, none of you listen to an hour and a half. So, well, some of you do. Maybe 8 out of 10 of you. Well, God bless all 10 of you for listening. So we'll see what happens. And as it happens, this is also going to be the 10th year of Unshackled Fury. As I mentioned last year, wanting to do something big. I don't know what, I don't know how, I don't know who, but hopefully we can get something going for 10 years. I don't know. Maybe I can lean on the Blizzard gods and say, hey, listen. Not too many of us still around from 10 years ago. Maybe, maybe we get a free hat to give away or something. I don't know. Figure it out. But this will be, 2025 will be the 10th year of Unshackled Fury. And so I've been away for the last nearly 2 months. It's been, I think, about a 6-week break at this point. And had holiday shenanigans to deal with. And we had birthday shenanigans to deal with. And so the timing is just horrible for trying to get Jez and I together for our cinema. And not even getting your cinema out today. You're just stuck with me like the old days. But that's where we are. And we're back and feeling somewhat refreshed. It's always good to take a break. You never know how long a break you're going to need depending on things. I feel like last year at the end of the year with War Within coming out, just hitting it hard. Every day, feeling good, ripping out delves. It was solid, but sometimes you got to put it down. You got to walk away. And so, yes, there has been some cyberpunk happening. There was also something else that popped up. A little story time for you. Over the break, I decided for whatever reason, I don't even know why, but I decided, I'm gonna take my son around. I'm gonna take the boy around to some of the local game shops in the Sacramento area. There's a whole bunch of them. Most of them I'd never been to, and one of them that I went back to, hadn't been there in like 20 years, and it's an amazing place in Sac. Great Escape Games if you're local. And I was like, I gotta get out there and take the boy around and see kind of the roots, tabletop gaming roots, where all this came from. And Through the course of our adventures, we stopped at 5 shops on this fateful day back at the end of December, and whatever reason, cosmic forces aligned and Warhammer entered our collective family consciousness, and we ended up purchasing a number of sets of miniatures. And if you know Warhammer, right, it's classic tabletop gaming, and you've got figures that you've got to punch out or cut out of trays and glue them together, snap them together, and paint them. And it's a whole to do just to have your little army be able to play the game. Now, side to this, and I know it's been out there, Space Marine 2. I'd never played it. I don't know that much about the Warhammer universe. Because of this little adventure with my son, I started getting into the know about it. Holy shit, that game rips. Combat flow. Wow. Amazing. Super cool. Yeah. Space Marine 2. I barely just scratched the surface of it, and it's awesome. But where the story goes, this is going to be a warning maybe to some of you parents out there. So we had bought these miniature sets for Warhammer, and I had told my son, you are not, you'll see where this is going, you are not allowed to work on these, to put these little models together, these little figures together. You're not allowed to put them together or paint them or do anything upstairs in your room. Everything stays downstairs. We work on them together. But when I'm not working, I'm on vacation, my propensity to be a night owl is even worse. And so it was the day after New Year's, and I'm coming to bed. I've been on my computer. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Open my door, step out in the hallway, and I'm overcome with smell. It smells like nail polish. I'm like, what the hell is that smell? I'm sniffing around the house. I'm like, am I making this up? Is this coming from the outside? And it just so happened my wife was awake because her insulin pump was going off and doing some things. And so I'm like, hey, you smell that? I'm like, yeah, I smell that. What's going on? And it dawned on me what had happened. And I went downstairs and looked for the Warhammer stuff that we purchased, and it was missing. So I come back upstairs, open the door to my son's room, and I am immediately overcome with the smell of plastic cement. If you know, some of these need to be glued together, these little figures, and you need plastic cement to do it, to get that bond right. To make a long story short, in the middle of the night, he had absconded with these things, had brought them up to his bed, had spilled the plastic cement all over his bed, didn't tell anybody, and then just went to sleep. So now we have these noxious, flammable fumes building up in his room, which necessitated at like 2 o'clock in the morning us reading him the riot act, me carrying his mattress down the stairs and putting it by the front door, and opening up every window we have, and it's like 40 degrees outside, to air out the house before something terrible happens. So all of those parts and pieces and figures and whatnot, they're still in my bedroom right now, and we have yet to pick them up again. We will, I'm sure, at some point. But if you're the parent of a child getting into this type of activity, just be forewarned. They may try to burn down your house with plastic cement. I don't recommend it. I would keep that under close watch, but sometimes that can happen. So that was kind of the highlight of the break. Really looking forward to getting back into that, but also glad to be back here in Warcraft land.
Berzerker, this is management.
And I was about to say, there's one other item that I had left to discuss at the front.
Yes, you do. You think you can just leave us, is that the case?
Well, I mean, yes, I have left you, management, and I was gonna tell the people about that and kind of the why and what happened and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you know you'll never get another BlizzCon without us. We made it happen. You even said you couldn't do it on your own, but now you are leaving. You will be left with nothing. Nothing without us.
And that may be the case, management. And I will miss our loving talks and all the great support that you've given me over the years. But it is time that I once again am untethered and on my own. But I really appreciate all these check-ins, and I know that you will take care of the rest of the group just as good, or if not better, than you took care of me. But thanks for stopping by, and who knows what we'll see down the road.
Well, I guess since I'm a figment of your imagination, that means I'm going away too. Is this the end of me?
I'm afraid it is, management. This is the end for you. You've been a lovely guest in my head, but it is time for you to disappear into the ether with all the other inventions that have come across the way. But thanks again, and it's probably time that I tell the folks about what the hell's going on.
All right, well, this is management signing off for the last time.
Yes. Thank you, management. Thank you for stopping by. So this might only make sense or really matter to 2 of you who listen out of the 10 listeners that we have. But Unshackled Fury is no longer part of the Bonus Roll Productions group. And top line, there's no animosity, there's no anger, this isn't like some big fight happened or some crazy thing happened. I was like, fuck these guys. No. It was a decision that came after quite a bit of discussion, frankly, with Jez. It wasn't a decision that I came to lightly or easily, but it was clear to me that the time had come for me to go back solo and without any other sort of support group or anything like that. And to kind of explain it, when I first joined up, whatever it was, the end of, I think, 2021, when I first started talking to Athelis about, becoming a part of what was then Warcraft Radio. There was a lot kind of going on with the group. Warcraft Radio had been around, it had been resurrected, and they had this, great sort of presentation. They were part of the Race for World First. They, had gotten interviews. They had this great repository for all the other podcasts out there, and it felt like it was really going in this sort of upward trajectory. And it was one that I felt this show would benefit by being a part of if that could happen. And it did. And unfortunately, what I didn't know at the time was that Warcraft Radio was already on its way out to becoming Bonus Roll Productions. And understanding that the goal was to cover more than Blizzard shows, because Blizzard had been having some bad press, and it's tough to get people excited about a company that's having a bunch of lawsuits and harassment problems, and I get all of that. But unfortunately, I think when Warcraft Radio went away, nobody really knew what Bonus Roll Productions was. Now, that being said, when Athelis left our group and became one of the handlers over at Blizzard for the content creators, that was a godsend. And it felt like we were riding a gravy train on biscuit wheels. And for one brief shining moment, we were. And podcasts were getting respect again. And we were getting things thrown our way. And this is when we got inside the VIP club and we were at the Crystal table and like shit was happening, man. But unfortunately, his tenure there was short, and when other folks took over, we got relegated once again to fucking no man's land. Did get into a BlizzCon that was absolutely because of the Bonus Roll Productions group, and I want to thank everyone there for all of their help in doing that. It truly is one of the greatest weekends I've ever had, and it is in large part due to their effort and their work. But that's kind of where everything stopped. After that BlizzCon, there really hasn't been much going on, and I felt like this point in time, taking total control over not just the podcast, but everything about it. I felt like it was time, given a year of kind of non-activity. And that's no hate on anybody. It's tough when you have multiple management changes internally and, you're not really sure what the larger goal is for everything and how you accomplish that. It just wasn't quite the right fit for me any longer. And so I decided to disconnect the show from Bonus Roll Productions. We're, back out on our own basically. But to Ease and Manny and Ketra and everybody else there, they're awesome folks, and please continue to listen to those shows. Technically PvP, if you want all your PvP knowledge, Wrath Babies, For Azeroth, Girls Gone WoW, all the great shows that they have over there. Please continue to listen to those. I know you will. No hate on them. I think with rare exception, only one that I can think of, I always felt like I was being included on things or people were cool with me, and I really appreciated that because I did not have the history with them that they had with themselves, and a lot of other folks did. So Unshackled Fury back out on its own. Our little management bits we used to have here, that was always kind of my way of poking a little fun at some of the things that happened while I was part of the group, but it was all meant in love and fun. But no longer part of Bonus Roll Productions. It'll just be Unshackled Fury on its ragey own. Moving on, Metal Album of the Week. Metal Album of the Week. We want to kick it off right. It's a new year. We want to have the right kind of energy to kick things off. So for you, this week, I have from 2009, the album Ravenous by the band Wolf. Swedish metal at its finest. 12 songs on this album, and it's a great listen all the way through. Just put it on, let it rip, and right out of the gate with Speed On, pretty sure is the name of this episode title as well, just gets you in the right groove, the right frame of mind. I think it's perfect for this year and kind of where my mind is at. But the whole album is just kick-ass. Speed On, Whiskey Psycho Hellions. That's the name of another song. It's just Love at First Bite. Great songs all the way through. And they have quite an impressive catalog, Wolf does. So if you like the band, there's a ton of albums to listen to of theirs. But I thought this one would kick off the year right. So for all of you, it's available, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere else. I mean, you can also find it on YouTube if you want to do it the boo-boo way. But it is out there, so highly encourage you to check it out. Ravenous by Wolf. Now, we got a raid segment that's very pertinent to Warcraft, pertinent to our nerdy community, and it is one of these things, one of these rare pains that might only be mine, but it's hell. It's my show. I'm gonna get into it. That's what we do. So let's kick it in some rage. Let's rage. Gotta take a drink for the working man here. Got my ghost energy rolling. All right. So, if you will recall, some time ago, I had laid out my complaints, my laments, my sorrow, jealousy about the Frostmourne replica being back. One of the all-time recognizable gaming, nerdy, pop culture pieces. Right? It's 50 years from now, people are still gonna know what that fucking thing is. And it's just one of many items I've seen, maybe you've seen over the years that are like part of our larger Warcraft or gaming community. Like, man, that'd be a great piece to own. And so maybe like myself, you belong to a number of newsletters and different things where they'll say, hey, our company's got this, we're selling this, we got this available. One of the best, truly one of the best, is a company called Sideshow. And if you know what Sideshow is, you may already know where I'm going with this. Sideshow is a company that makes, I mean, if they're not the highest quality replicas and statues and pieces of pop culture entities, I don't know who is. Because these things are immaculate. When somebody, like, they make a Christian Bale Batman, it looks like Christian Bale Batman. If it's, any other million other characters or statues that they make, it looks like that individual. Okay. So I've waited forever for them to do something that I wanted relative to Warcraft. And so you can imagine my surprise and my happy surprise, perhaps, when I got a newsletter in my email the other day, and lo and behold, it says, now available for pre-order, Varian Wrynn. And I was beside myself. Yes, finally, Varian getting the treatment that he so rightly deserves. It's gonna get like the Sideshow treatment. It's gonna look so good, and it's gonna be so great, and this is gonna be fucking badass, and I can put it on my shelf, and I can look at it, and we can talk to each, I mean, we can, I can look at him and be like, yes, Dad. So pull it up, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, this detail is insane. He's got his armor. He looks just like he does in Legion, and he's holding Charlemagne over one shoulder, and he's just looking all fucking bad ass. I'm like, how big is this thing? I start looking at the dimensions. I'm like, wait a minute. This has got to be some kind of mistake. It's 44 inches wide? It's 47 inches tall? Folks, to taunt me, and me alone, Sideshow is offering a life-size Varian Wrynn bust for $5,000. Is it worth $5,000? It probably is worth $5,000. They're only making a handful of these things, like 300, I want to say. And it's not even going to be available for at least a year. But if you go on sideshow.com and you look at Varian Wrynn, you will see this thing, and it is unbelievably badass, especially, for somebody like me. That's my guy. It's got, Alliance, like an Alliance pedestal that his bust is on. The quality on this thing is unfucking real. It is, and it's Charlemagne. It's got Charlemagne. Oh, life size. I mean, if you take a tape measure and you hold out what 44 by 47 looks like, it's fucking massive. Like, I'm a big dude, and the thing is wider than me by a good margin. It is phenomenal, but for $5,000 and life size, like, my hope is that they scale this thing down at some point. But of all the things that they could have made, of all the things they could have done, I can't believe there's enough people that want a life-size Varian Wrynn bust. I mean, I feel like I'm the only one, but maybe not. And here we are. I'm just gonna have to watch this on somebody's stream somewhere. Some streamer asshole is gonna have this thing, and I'm gonna be so jealous. You fuckers. But should you have the space, and should you have the scratch for $5,005, I don't know why it's $5,005. For $5,005, a life-size Varian Wrynn bust can be yours. And dear weeping Jesus, if you buy yourself one of these things, please send me a photo. I would love to see what this actually looks like in real life. I'll even cook you dinner if you let me come and talk to him. I mean, come and just see it for like 5 seconds. Yeah, that just, oh man, great to be a fan of things, isn't it? All right, now with that off my chest, there is a little bit of Warcraft news to talk about and a few other things. So why don't we go ahead and catch up with where we are at this point in time and where we are heading. So looking up our 2025 roadmap, we know that things are going to kick off with patch 11.07, Siren Isle. Hope you all are enjoying that. We have a quest out of there I want to talk about with Jazz once he's back, so we're going to hold that till next time. That patch is live. It's been live. And now we are waiting for, and now also Plunderstorm is hit. We're waiting for Undermined. We're waiting for patch 11.1, which at this point, it should just be around the corner with Plunderstorm now being live. It's stated that this is going until February 18th. So I assume, everybody else does, that late February, we're looking at probably, 3 weeks until Undermined, parenthetical D, Undermined hits. Patch 11.1. And with that patch, Undermine, the new raid Liberation of Undermine, the new dungeon Operation Floodgate, the new drive system, DRIVE drive system. We got some delves. You're going to be meeting some cartel folks, and we'll have a whole renown track there. And they're going to have some warband camp collections, UI updates, that sort of thing. So for the moment, we do have Siren Isle, and the only thing I want to talk about with that just real quick is if you haven't done it, there is a fantastic battle pet available, Marmaduke. It's a dog, it's a cute dog, and it's a super easy thing to do to get it. There's guides already online, but as long as you've completed the introduction into the Siren Isle, there's a journal that you've got to pick up, and you can go get some toys and do some things, and then you get Marmaduke as this pet, and by God, it's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. You get a little duck toy, and he carries it in his mouth, and oh my God, my dog. Remember when my other dog died, and I was like really sad, and I was like, that's the best dog ever, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then I got this new dog, this new golden retriever, and he is the dumbest fucking dog on the face of the earth, I swear to God. If you've watched the Barbie movie and you know about Ken, this dog is Ken. My dog is Ken. He's just a big, beautiful idiot. He's very loving, but he's just a big, beautiful idiot. Marmaduke, that's a good dog. So if you're out there on Siren Isle, just do yourself a favor. Get yourself a good dog. So, in the meantime, we got Siren Isle going on, but they did release for us an update or a pretty solid preview of what to expect when patch 11.1 hits and we have access to Undermine. So, just want to take you through this as we go, just so we're all on the same page. I'm avoiding as many spoilers as I can for the moment. There's so much data mining going on, and it has been for the last 2 months, and all the story stuff is out there, and the why to Undermine is out there. Like, why the fuck are we here? Because it seems to make no sense in the larger story, but there's a reason why this is happening. So we're gonna hold on this for now, but for Undermine, this is something that will become available to you. The whole Undermine adventure will become available to you once you are level 80 and have completed the leveling campaign. So you do have to do that first. It's not, some other piece that's in between. It does have that specific requirement to it. You will begin your adventure with a quest from Gazlo and Renzik at Foundation Hall in Dornegal, and you will be taken down to the Undermine, where you are going to be introduced to a few notable places. One, and everything is very punny. So if you are not a fan of just kind of silly punny stuff, Undermine is going to drive you insane, and I have like a halfway tolerance for it. So I'll see how my own digestion of this goes. But We are going to be introduced to, first up, Slam Central Station instead of Grand Central Station. Slam Central Station, home of the rocket drill train that ferries folks from the ringing deeps to Undermine and back again. So that's where your connection point is going to be, will be in the ringing deeps. Next up, we have the Incontinental Hotel, which I assume is a play on, the John Wick movies with the Continental Hotel, because that seems to be in the sort of zeitgeist these days. But the Incontinental Hotel, which if you don't know what incontinence is, go look it up and you'll understand why this is a joke. The first stop on your Undermine adventure will be the Incontinental Hotel. According to the hotel concierge, Pax Top Skimmer, the Incontinental Hotel is the, quote, the best of the best. It's centrally located, isn't full of nasty, dark-fused thugs, and we keep the Croach population de-escalated. All right, next up, the Galagio, not the Bellagio, but the Galagio, and this is the lap of goblin luxury, they say. All right, I can spit that out. Next up, the Demolition Dome, home of the new PvP arena, Cage of Carnage. That's a great name. Demolition Dome is not for the faint of heart. Okay, so that's a couple of the main locations within that you need to know. But the cartels really, I think, are the other big piece. Not just the zone. Everybody knows about the drive system. You're going to be driving a car and better be good. But the cartel system seems to be central to your experience as a player in the zone and kind of playing out the larger story. And there will be four cartels that you need to know about. The first, Bilgewater. The Bilgewater cartel is Monty Gaslow's crew. From brilliant inventors to explosive geniuses, Bilgewater is home to some of the brightest goblins to ever live. Gaslow, Grapplehammer, and even Gallywix at one point. They made a big splash joining the Horde. I think it's supposed to be big. They made a big splash joining the Horde, but in Undermine, they can use all the friends they can get. Look for the Bilgewater cartel doing business out of Bilgewater Flats near Demolition Dome. Second up, Blackwater. The Blackwater Raiders might be a newer cartel, but with Baron Revelgaz at the helm, they're already making waves in the shipping and luxury vacation industries. There's a lot of money there. They can move any cargo anywhere, anytime, and now it's all nice and legal. Well, it's mostly legal. They do all their dealings out of the Blackwater Marina in Undermine. So Blackwater, that's the second. It's also the name of a really gnarly real-life group. All right, third up, Steam Weedle. Marin Noggenfogger, I assume of Noggenfogger Elixir fame, is the trade prince of this cartel. Steam Weedle is the oldest and largest cartel in Undermine and has its hands in almost every industry spanning Azeroth and beyond. These days, under Noggenfogger, it's all about premium grade alchemy. Seek out Steam Weedle in the Vatworks area of Undermine. Last up, fourth up, the Venture Company. I know you know this name. Some might take issue with the ways the Venture Company acquires its resources, but no industry can run without materials. If you want nice, find a book club. If you want to build something, Venture Company has what you need. While they lack a top goblin, Grimla Fizzlecrank keeps things in order. Venture Company is located in the Heaps in Undermine. So, with each one of these, as it is written here, in the Incontinental Hotel, your concierge is going to assist you in picking which one of these four cartels you're going to be working on renown for. And there'll be all kinds of rewards and things that you can gather. But that will be kind of the main thrust of what you're going to be doing, I assume, in terms of like regular activities. Also in there, I've talked about this before, is they have a new dungeon, Operation Floodgate, and it will have a handful of bosses in here. Big Mama, which is a prototype mech in Big Mama M.O.M.M.A. So abbreviated for something, I assume. And this one's piloted by Silva, Stratospark, and you got to deal with them. The Demolition Duo, Kiza Quickfuse, and Bront are the Venture Company Brains of Brawn duo, contracted by Gallywix. Got to deal with them. Swamp Face, buried beneath the riverbed at the waterworks, lies a hibernating beast. Fun. And Giesel Gigazap, the heart of the waterworks dam. The electric mastermind Giesel Gigazap siphons power for the project, which we'll find out what that is. When he is cornered and Galliwix's secret plans have nearly come to a halt, Giesel reroutes the power headed to the Undermine to himself. So there you go. And then, of course, we'll have to figure out why Xalatath is involved here. And Xalatath is very much involved here. So it will make sense eventually. And I'm glad, and I do know what it is. And I'm glad to see what that connection is. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting detour considering the very serious nature of everything else we've dealt with up to this part, and spiders, to now go to just everything is kind of jokey and goblin-y and explosive-y, and there is a vibe for sure. And again, I think appetites will vary. I'm sure when we get into whatever's after this, whether it's, you know, something voidy, something, you know, on another planet, maybe something, you know, unknown at this point. Still holding out for Vrykul all the time doing something. This is what we got. And so hopefully it's something that you're excited about. I'm sure by the time we have our next episode, there'll be even more to discuss, and Jez and I can dive in more into the storyline up to this point and what to expect. But as of now, that is where we are and what we have to look forward to, at least in terms of the news that Blizzard has released thus far. Outside of that, I wanted to finally weigh in on something that I now have hands-on or eyes-on experience with. And that is the book Play Nice by Jason Schreier. Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment. If you recall, some months ago, this book was all the rage, and Mr. Schreier was out there doing quite a tour, talking to just about any outlet that would have him. I saw him on streams, heard him in interviews, read it in articles. It was credit to his publisher and himself. He was everywhere, and excerpts easy to find, but I think as Jez and I had discussed, I wasn't really going to give my money to this effort because I just wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. But as it happens, because my family knows me, my in-laws actually gifted the book to me. So I did get a chance to dive into this and take a look. In all transparency, I have not read the entire thing. I'm not done with it yet, but I am a vast way into it and a majority of the way through it. So I don't think what I'm going to say will be in any way changed by the last few chapters. There is a lot of insider dirt in the book. I think as we all kind of figured, you know, this was people talking sometimes on the record, a lot of times off the record, confidentially, anonymously, what have you, about, and this starts literally before Blizzard or the companies that became Blizzard even existed. This goes back to Mike Morhaime and the early founders back when they were in school, and how they came together and came up with their first company, and how those companies got bought up by other companies, and there was shady dealings with this, that, and the other. And it told how it grew and hired employees and the challenges that they faced and what happened. You know, the launch of Warcraft, well known, they weren't prepared for how many people were going to be playing the game, and you know what happened there. And when John Statz released the WoW Diary, when he released that some years ago and talked about like how they built World of Warcraft and sort of the challenges they had, I really liked that book because I felt like it not only got into the nitty-gritty of what they were doing, but I think it was also presenting an open and fair and balanced perspective on that time in Warcraft's history, Blizzard's history, and otherwise. With Play Nice, I'm not saying that anything here is incorrect. I don't doubt that the vast majority of what is in this book is accurate or near to accurate. The problem that I have is, and it's what I was afraid I was going to have, is that it's clear that this book has an axe to grind. No doubt. Blizzard made some monumental mistakes as a company when it came to treatment of employees, when it came to handling complaints and the lawsuits that came about, the management by Bobby Kotick and the rest of the folks at Activision, and, you know, dirtbags like Afraziabi, and, you know, all of that stuff is true and fair and shitty. The problem that I have is that's all that this book talks about. It's just one negative thing after another. This person fucked up. This person was an asshole. This thing was wrong. This thing was wrong. This thing went badly. It just, if I didn't know anything about Blizzard, about Warcraft, about StarCraft, about Diablo, about Overwatch, about any of the franchises, I would wonder how in the hell this company ever made it doing anything, because it just sounds like they're just a bunch of colossal fuck-ups that are shitty people to everyone and everything all the time. Every time there was a challenge that was addressed in the book about something that happened with the company, there was never any perspective on like how they did a thing or maybe what sort of triumphs there were. It was just how this all went bad and who was to blame and who fucked up and who was shitty about how it was dealt with. And it just, it felt like it was a gossip magazine basically just made whole. And again, I'm not saying this is incorrect information. It is just clearly through one very specific lens, and it had a point that it wanted to make. And fine, it made it. There's definitely some interesting things in here that I think the casual Blizzard gamer or longtime Blizzard gamer, frankly, anybody that's played Warcraft or the other franchises, would love to know about the development of games and how things happened to an extent. But it's kind of a brutal read in a way, because it's just lumping you over the head with how bad everybody is and how bad everything was. And it's just, I don't know. For every like pound of something positive, it was like 10 negative. And that's me. That's how I felt about it. Maybe that's my own bias playing in, and I freely admit that. But it, you know, it's like the old, if you know who Denny Green is, the old football coach. They are who we thought they were. It's pretty much what we have here. So, if you want the dirt, if you want to read basically a 300-page gossip magazine, that's what you got here. And there's a lot to it, so you can check it out if you want. But now that I've had my hands on it and had my eyeballs on it, I wanted to give my honest assessment and critique. I'm not a professional book reviewer, but you know, that's how I, as a player and a podcaster and just a person out here, felt about it. Now, making its long-awaited resurrection, since I'm the only one here, we're going to rate some Trading Post items. Yeah, January Trading Post ratings. It's back, baby. It's back. This is what we're doing. So we have a number of, I think, truly noteworthy items this month. There are some returning items from previous ones, but right out of the gate, I just want to hit it right out of the gate, because it is truly a thing to behold. The War-Forged Nightmare mount, which is a shop mount, and I bet you can guess what I think of this.
That's what I'm talking about! 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 That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
This is truly one of the greatest all-time mounts ever sold. I mean, it's too bad it was a shop mount, but the Warforged Nightmare mount is just this fiery, spiked-up horse, and it is badass to the bone. This is one of the best ever, and now that I have it, because I didn't pony up and pay for it, Now that I have it through the trading post, rest assured, if you ever see me in game, there's like a 50-50 chance you're going to see me riding this thing. It's fucking amazing. Next up, also new this month, newly available on the trading post, are the Reigns of the Brilliant Sunburst Peafowl, and you might be surprised by this one.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
The peafowl itself, if it was just a peafowl, would not get a rating this high, but the armor, the presentation really top tier on this. And also for reference, the Reigns of the Brilliant Sunburst Peafowl, which is just, a bird. 750 Trader Tender. The Warforged Nightmare, less 700. That it might be the best 700 you ever spent. Returning for 800 Trader Tender is the Copper Resonating Crystal.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
it's a big bug. It's a copper scarab. If that's your jam, hey, do your thing. Also, new this month, for 500 Trader Tender, the Savage Alabaster Battle Turtle. And this one might also surprise you.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This thing literally could be a dog turd on a stick. But because it is called a battle turtle, it's going to get a top tier rating. That is, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can do much better than a battle turtle. That just sounds rad as shit. Now, it also does a super cool thing where it like sucks all its limbs and its head into the shell, and it's got big like cannons on the side, and it is also fantastic presentation. But a battle turtle, you get the top rank every time. Now, in terms of pets, we got a few. First up, returning is the Time Lost Salamander, and
I mean, it's all right. Like,
for 600 Trader Tender, I think it's a little much. I did buy it because, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. A salamander? Not really sure. But for 600 Trader Tender, a little pricey on that one. Next up, we kind of have a twofer because these are both the same but different colors. They're each 300 Trader Tenders. We have the Wind Up Woofer and a Wind Up Woofy, two sort of like cog, mechanome looking puppies, and you know what we're doing.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
They're so stinking cute. It's ridiculous. Even tough men can find these things cute. That's right. Let it go. All right, moving on. We have a few transmog sets. All right, we have 3 of these. And first up, we're going to go with, for 850 Trader Tender, the Waste Wander Trackers Kit.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
That is pretty pricey. $850. When the others that I'm about to tell you about are $650. $650. So we've seen this one before. It's a very complete set. These all are thematically, I think they're pretty good. But 850, that's a bit much. Next up, we have 2 of kind of the same thing, 650 Trader Tenders apiece. These ensembles are the Golden Clockwork Attire and the Green Clockwork Attire. Not my jam, but
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
thematically very strong. Again, it's sort of like, clockwork. Pretty much you can imagine it if you can't see it. It's the, again, sort of mechanome type vibe. Strong, super strong vibe. And I think for an ensemble, $650, that's a damn good price. All right, next up, for a back piece, we have the steam powered golden cloak for $300.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I need like one more thing on it. Like, it's moving and it's got like a dial and a whole thing, and it's got a lot going on, but I feel like it needs like a big weapon hanging off of it. I mean, maybe that's just the warrior in me, but that's kind of, I don't know. That's just my thing. Next up, we have a helm. just a headpiece, cosmetic headpiece, for 140 trader tender, which is kind of an odd price for something. But this is it's a very paladin-y sort of the look to it, the bronze helm of righteousness. And I'm going to give you the score for it, and I will explain. Because paladin, not really quite the warrior vibe for me. But
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
if you look up the flavor text, and I'm not going to explain this, you better know what this is. It says, guard yourself from the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Jules would be proud. All right. Next up, we have Ensemble, the Prowler's Carrot Headgear.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know. I think we could have done more with that one. Returning, we have the classic Carrot Tabard, the Gossamer Desert Gown, and the Sandswept Soiree Gloves, all for 100.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Nothing to write home about there. Next up, for 50, these are both 50 trader tenders. We have the long sunny war skirt and leg wraps, and the short sunny war skirt and leg wraps.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The color is horrible. Horrible. Bring those back in another color. I'll probably think they're the greatest thing ever. All right. Gold reinforced cushioned boots, feet for 40. What do we got?
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. Next up, for 40 a piece as well, we have the long sunny war skirt and the short sunny war skirt.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The color is horrible. The sunny's, yeah. Don't like it. Maybe it's your vibe. I hate it. I don't like to use that word, but I don't like it. All right, last up, for 20, trader tender, we have the Banded Sunny War Slippers and the Banded Sunny War Slippers. Banded Sunny War Slippers and Banded Sunny War Wraps. That's it. There we go.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, it's okay. All right, at the end, we have our weapon transmogs. For 325 trader tender, the Golden Clockwork Power Hammer two-handed base.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I won't use it, but it does look like a power hammer, all clockworky and very mechanomy. Next up, the Golden Clockwork Doomfist.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Ooh, that one might surprise you. For 300 trader tender, it's clearly a rip right from Overwatch Doomfist. It just doesn't look right in my mind's eye. I don't know why. Next up, we have a long-range Golden Clockstopper gun for 300.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
You've dropped that price by 100. It's probably getting top rank. Next up, the Golden Clockwork Defender Shield for 260 trader tender.
that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I believe that this shield could stop something. I believe that this thing could stop some heavy artillery. It is very believable. It looks like the front of a fucking train. It's rad as shit. And next up, last up, final, the January Trading Post ratings for 60 trader tenders. We have an offhand, delightfully named the Steam Weedle Artifact Extractor. And let me explain this one.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there than me. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Folks, it's dynamite. The Artifact Extractor is dynamite. That's pretty fucking funny. Am I going to use a bunch of this stuff? No. But thematically, it is fantastic. So there you go. Those are your January Trading Post ratings. These are my ratings. Don't have to be yours. But that's what I got. And now, last up on this episode, trying to do a Q&A segment every episode now. Something Jez and I have been talking about, trying to get it going. Please join our Discord or get in there or email us questions. We put that in there, and we'll probably put out a call every couple weeks when we're getting ready to do an episode. But please, if you've got questions of any kind, that you would like on here, whether it's about Warcraft, or you want my rib recipe, or you want to know Jez's hat size, or you want to know what we think about which Transformer was the best, whatever it is, shoot us those questions, and at the end of every show, we'll do a little bit of Q&A. So, got a couple questions here, and from our homies. First one, straight up from the homie Rommel. He asked, any chance that Midnight and or the Last Titan expansions don't include an increase to the level cap with a campaign? Or would there be an uprising by the players expecting a leveling campaign even with a quicker release cadence? That is kind of the $1 million question, and if I take Ian Hazakostas at his word, there will always be some sort of leveling experience because psychologically people want the ding. They want that gratification of hitting some sort of regular checkpoint, and maybe they go to something we've theorized for years, that maybe they go to something now with the way these leveling campaigns work, that it's the achievements of each chapter and that's your leveling, but they always want to give us something to make us feel like we're making progress or getting more powerful in some way or whatever. Although I don't know how you become more powerful than what we've been. Like we're god killers at this point. I don't even know what is beyond that, frankly. But I think that people would not like having a leveling experience. Like going up, getting squished, going up, getting squished. Seems like they feel comfortable with that, and maybe we'll get another squish after Last Titan. I don't know. It's already getting kind of crazy. But to answer your question, I think we will continue to have a level cap increase with each expansion, at least through the Last Titan, and then maybe we'll see what happens after that. Next up, and this is a really good question as well, and combines two of my favorite franchises. So thank you, Allie, for these questions. What character from Warcraft would you like to see in Cyberpunk? And what character from Cyberpunk would you like to see in Warcraft? Great questions. Cyberpunk, as you all know, great love, possibly as a genre, my greatest love, even more than Warcraft. And so to answer that question, what Warcraft character would I like to see in Cyberpunk? Probably Varian. I'd like to see Varian in Cyberpunk because I think he could be, a force to be reckoned with in that universe, and being sort of morally gray up to a point is very appropriate for that universe, and I think Varian could fit that pretty well. There's a lot of characters in Warcraft I think that would translate well, but Varian as a tactician, as a leader, as a fighter, I could see him, being a nomad, running with maybe the Aldecaldos or one of the other nomadic clans. Maybe he's got his own, and he's running up and down the West Coast. I could very well see that, and it would be badass. And if I had any ability to do art, I might even draw something like that, just sort of like if you've ever seen the Jim Raynor, classic Jim Raynor art where he's sitting on the speeder, like one of Varian, but he's sitting in a quadra. That'd be badass. As far as a character from Cyberpunk in Warcraft, I'd have to go with Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher being one of the big bads of the Cyberpunk universe, been around forever. The guy's basically just borged out of his mind. He's basically a brain that just gets transplanted from one body to another. And in the Cyberpunk universe, particularly as of late, very scary. If you've seen Edge Runners, the anime, or if you've played through Cyberpunk 2077, this guy is not to be fucked with, and it would make an amazing boss in World of Warcraft. Just the abilities, the things he can do, the way you would have to strategize around him, it would be a phenomenal baddie to have to go against. So definitely Atom Smasher. I'd be curious what Jez would say, but that's what I got. So thanks to Rommel and Allie for those questions. And again, please, in any way that you can, get us your questions each week, and we'll do our best to answer. If you're shy, don't want to put them in a Discord, you can always email us at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. But we look forward to that. So thank you for your questions. All right. think I've done enough damage for one episode. My thanks to all of you for listening, and remember, you can always follow me and this show on Twitter at Berzerker Rage and Unshackled_Fury, on Blue Sky at Berzerker and Unshackled Fury, as well as on Twitch at Unshackled Fury and Real Berzerker. You can also join our Discord, links for which are in the profile of the show on Twitter and on our website, unshackledfury.com. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise through any of those resources, or email us at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.